Alrighty guys, welcome back to some more Trails Beyond the Horizon. Last episode we finished up exploring Edith, and afterwards got a call from the Bracer Guild saying they needed help out in the western outskirts. So we traveled out there to save the Bracers and met a new type of monster, the Contaminated Monsters. They're essentially just very bulky monsters that will heal themselves, and it looks like there is a new threat to deal with across the country, as there's been reports from multiple Bracer guilds from across the continent. And so, in this episode, it's time we finish up the morning trip by going to one last district, the Lever district. But before that, if you guys do like this video and this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out, and it'll help make sure you don't miss any upcoming videos. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. So this video is actually going to have a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, we do need to start here by going to the Lever district. It is the final one we will do in this, well, not this episode, but in this little section. When you go over here, everything else, yep, it'll say proceeding will advance the main story, causing side content to disappear. But we're good. We've got everything up to this point, so we'll just go ahead and move over there. And this should be a brand new region we've actually never been to before. We can't even take our car there. We gotta board the subway. Now, this episode, once we get through this first part and we make it to the afternoon, because we've been in the morning this whole time, we have a huge intro to a new mechanic in this game. Well, it's not a new mechanic necessarily. It's been in a previous game, 2 other games. But we haven't seen it yet in this game. What was the phone call? I think this city of Edith is supposed to kind of be based around Tokyo, with all the different districts. Because this is the first city I think we've been to in a Trails game where they're like numbered districts that also have names. Because like you'll have the entertainment district in certain games and like the residential district, but it's not districts where there's kind of everything and they have specific names like Lever, and they're also numbered.
So this is the Leva district. What I wouldn't give to live in an upscale place like this.
Indeed. It's the very picture of elegance. Yet the pleasant atmosphere and greenery gives it a tranquil quality as well.
This place is so pretty and nice. It makes total sense that Agnes grew up here. Aww. I'm really glad to hear you all like it.
I've dropped by here a handful of times at night, you know, just to do a little smashing and swiping in the homes of corrupt politicians. But it's just now hitting me how nice this district is. Maybe I really should buy one of the homes here.
Well, you certainly wouldn't be wanting for comfort, I suppose.
Bet even the ritziest house on the market would be chump change for you. Oh, wait, when the hell did you sneak back into the group?
Yeah, I was about to ask that too, because I did not notice her.
What does that matter? My event wrapped, so I figured I'd join back up with you. Okay, someone catch me up to speed. You guys ran into something over in the city's outskirts, right?
I'll tell you about it later. Maybe.
Maybe? Come on, guys. I don't want to be the only one out of the loop here.
In any event, shall we set about finding the nearest bulletin board?
Yeah, this area is pretty safe, so with any luck, we should be able to wrap this up quick.
Now, if I'm remembering right, the bulletin board is... over there. Okay, so here's the plan. Finish our work here and maybe check out a few shops in the chapel. After that, we can meet up over at the cafe or back at Montmartre to grab some lunch. Oh, actually, about that, I had a suggestion. given everything that's happened this morning, and since we're all here, how about we stop by my house for tea once we have reached a good stopping point? I'd be more than happy to make you all lunch, too. We have so many leftover ingredients that are just begging to be used. Really? You mean it? You say your house, but it's also the president's, right? Won't there be security guards watching the place while he's away? Probably, but they know my situation, so I don't think they'll have any problem with me inviting you over. So what do you think, Van? Sure, why not? As long as they don't mind, I'm game. Might even be able to unwind this time. First visit was hella tense with your dad around. Yeah, I'll bet. To say that guy knows how to command a room would be an understatement. Seems our course is set then. Let's head to Miss Claudel's residence once we complete the remainder of our day's work. So we only have a few things we can do here. However, we now have... Where is she? I forgot how to access my tactics, adjust party, and Judith is now officially on our team. I'm going to swap her in for Aaron because I prefer her to Aaron. They serve very similar roles. They both are high evasion characters, but Judith has just a little bit more attack and arts, and I think Aaron has a little bit more speed and evasion. But they both can become evasion tanks. I just prefer Judith. So, you can see we have a ton, and I mean a ton, of red things around here. Now, I actually don't think most of these are going to give us anything. I do think most of them are just like, we walk up, we see a thing, and we are like, oh, I've never been here before. This will be a great example right here.
This cafe seems nice and cozy.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be a good place to get remote work done.
What can I get for
Essentially, they're just talking about the places we're going to, but not much is going to happen. There's a new snack and a new soul chef. We can go ahead and learn that real quick. Some pizza. I don't know if we can make that right now, though. Let's see. Oh, they're pleasant pizza toast. Yeah, we can learn that one real quick.
Piece of cake. See?
There we
I
go.
can cook too, you know?
I'm here to study from time to time.
And then we'll leave.
But what I want to know is, what kind of specialty sweets?
I think we are just actually exploring. I don't think there's much here. You can see there's a chest we're going to go grab here in a second. But there's actually, like, not much here. So we'll go ahead and head up this way. And we'll head up here. We can enter this shop.
This is the area.
The Bologna General Store. And we can buy a gift, the Mercury Dome. And that's everything there is to buy here. We'll go ahead and just send that off to Rosette.
Thank you very much.
And then we'll head back out, head over here, and we can head up here to grab a chest with some Sepith. Now, if you've been following along, at this point, there is nothing else to collect in this section of the game. So let's quickly go over what all you should have. So by this point, we should have 20 enemies logged. Let's go eat our food real quick, just so I get an accurate count on that, since you do have to eat it. For your food, you should have 47 dishes sampled. You should have 2 newspapers and 1 movie brochure, 21 chests, 3 4 SPGs, 2 topic cases, and I don't actually think you can view the sauna, but you should have 1 sauna visited. I think we've already looked at this, but the saunas don't actually pop up there. And then there's also one for drivers. Where is that one? I always lose this one. Right here. 12 drivers and 16 plugins. That is essentially all the things that you can miss out on throughout the game. We've already gone over the fish, but you can get fish later. We're just trying to get them all as soon as we find them. So yeah, if you've done that, everything up to this point has been completed for you. So let's go ahead and move on with the main story. So I believe all we have to do at this point is actually
Will do.
Go visit everywhere. Also, I think Judith usually comes with an outfit. Let's see, does she come with an outfit this time around? No, sometimes she'll come with her Grim Cat outfit. But I don't know if she does, because we haven't seen her as Grim Cat yet. Up here, We can see the neighborhood. This is honestly a nice little area.
Right?
I mean, that's the whole point, right? Is it's the nicest area in town. It's where the president lives.
Doesn't seem like
I think
there's
that's her
much else to
house
see.
right there. Yep, that's the Graham Hart residence.
Turn back.
And this is my house. You haven't been here since the end of last
And then
year.
over here, we can find...
Yeah, feels like that
I think
was
this is
ages
the
ago.
chapel, yep.
Wonder where that enthusiastic dog of theirs is lurking.
And then there's not much more for us to see.
Often I come to visit this
We can
chapel.
come over
Fun fact,
here,
You can go up to the belfry using the ladders upstairs.
and we can go up
Anyone
this
wanna
way,
have a look?
where we can find the last thing to view, which is just this little nice view of the Capitol here.
Guys, I can
And
see the whole
finally,
town
the last place we
and
want to
your
visit
town.
whenever we're ready is the bulletin board. I actually think this might be the only one you have to go to, because this one will have an
Sunrise
event.
from here.
Guys, look, check out all these local event ads. There are charity flyers too. I suppose that's par for the course in well-to-do areas like this. Yes, that's true. It might also have to do with the chapel being nearby. Anyway, not that we'd find any here, but I don't spot any 4SPGs on the front side. I mean, yeah, that's no surprise. If there are any, they'd be on the back. And we got Bupkis. This side's clean as a damn spring breeze. I was afraid of that. It's been a hot minute since I had a request here. I think the last time was... Hey, what's that? It's a little scrap of paper. Looks like it was torn off. Perhaps a request or something of the sort was placed there and then removed sometime later. Yeah, probably. And it must have happened pretty recently. There's not even a speck of dirt on it, and I don't see any sign of it being rained on. There was a huge downpour this past weekend, and the board would have been sopping wet. Oh yes, I see what you mean. It did rain quite a bit then, as I recall. Which means it could have only been posted for 3 or 4 days at most before it was removed. Right. Let's put our thinking caps on. Using a little creative deduction, this scrap of paper was most likely part of... Come on, everyone. Use your thinking cap. The answer here is going to be a 4SPG that was posted then taken down, because it's going to be on the backside, and it was taken down. Yep, that's my theory too. Picture this. A person needs help with something they can't bring to the police or the guild. They aren't used to dealing with shady types like me, but after hearing rumors about this 4SPG thing, they go out on a limb and put one up. They wait 2 or 3 days, see no one's responding to it, then give up and tear it down before someone else sees it. Seems like a plausible turn of events, don't you think? You got all that from a tiny scrap of paper? Well, he's just saying it's one possibility, but it is a convincing hypothesis nonetheless. I hate it when he makes sense, especially when he looks so smug about it. Okay, Epstein, how does that tie into everything else? Huh? What makes you think I know the answer to that? And here I thought you had it all figured out. Silly me. Well, we may not know the details. I think we can be fairly certain something unusual is brewing under the surface. Or at the very least, this makes that conclusion seem that much more likely. The probability has definitely gone up. Can't make a definite call yet, but knowing that something fishy might be going on is still good intel. Doesn't your risk management AI or whatever's logic work in a similar way? Yes, although I am certainly no expert on the subject. As I understand it, the system aggregates a vast number of risk factors, then calculates a threat level based on that. Perhaps we could borrow a page from their book. Take one lead and combine it with others, and the path forward may make itself known. We could consider making that our investigation's opening gambit. Thinking about it in that way just reminds me of that stupid-ass Go Game Gion and Chow like playing. So in summary, we just have to keep our eyes peeled and collect data, and the bigger picture will eventually come into focus. Were you able to follow all that, Fairy? I guess it's kind of like when we use multiple artillery observers to spot snipers. They like to move around a bunch, so we have to be super in sync to neutralize them. Oh, that, makes sense. Sometimes I worry we raised this girl all wrong. Obtained a piece of what appears to have been a 4SPG. and we earn 2 additional SP for choosing the right option. And now, with that, the only thing left is to walk over here, because I guess this didn't count because we didn't let the dialogue finish. I'm just going to go ahead and run to where we need to go. I'll just speed it up by heading over there.
Viewing the sunrise from here always takes my breath away. That sounds lovely. I'd like to have the chance to see that myself.
And we'll come over here to the Grahamhart residence. Oh, well. All right, I think we can call it there. I'm getting a real unusual whiff of something from all this, including that scrap of paper. If you're ready, we are good to head to my house now? Just a heads up, I can't do much more than make some sandwiches for everyone. Oh, that's more than enough. Thank you very much. You guys are gonna love Agnes's sandwiches. She gave me one the other day, and it was so good. If you'd like, I'd be happy to help in preparing the tea and coffee. And I'd be happy to help myself to his vintage wines. Oh, no you don't. Not on the clock, Buster. If the opportunity were to present itself, he seems like a fun lad to be sharing a few drinks with. Master Burghardt, you say some really scary shit sometimes, you know that? And now we can go ahead and interact with the Grahamhart residents, and this will bring the morning to an end. When you go here, we're going to get a Spriggan report, and everything up to this point will no longer be, well, most of the things up to this point will no longer be available, including connection events and side quests. So, let's go ahead and visit Agnes's house.
Whoa! Your house is gorgeous, Agnes!
The building itself seems pretty old, but it's been maintained with love and care.
I'm glad you think so.
Huh. Looks like a completely different place in the daytime.
Huh?
What the? Hey, aren't you?
Alphonse? Where did you come from?
Aw, nice pupper you got there.
I didn't know you were a dog owner, Agnes.
I remember her mentioning she had one. But wait, I thought he was kept at the official residence.
Down, boy. It's impolite to jump on people.
Dad? What are you doing here?
We hadn't realized you were home, Mr. President.
What a pleasant surprise. Our apologies for showing up without invitation.
Please, no apologies needed. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome such esteemed guests into my humble home. As for why I'm here, I happen to have some downtime, so I thought I'd take Alphonse for a walk. I'm surprised to see you back in the thick of it so soon after your trip to Orid. That kind of diligence really is admirable. But perhaps a rest now and again would do you well. You ought to show yourself the same care that you do my daughter.
Dad? Come on, Alphonse. Be good.
Of course you know about what we were up to. A little surprised you're still keeping your ears to the ground, Mr. Prez. Thought your eyes were set on the stars.
So you're saying the second phase being moved up was in the cards from the get-go, huh?
That's right. We didn't know what kind of issues would come up, so we added quite a bit of buffer time to the schedule. Mostly to give us time to recover if we hit any particularly bad setbacks. However, thanks to the efforts of Professor Cronkite, Esmeralda, and the other researchers at Verne, that extra time proved unnecessary. Marduk's control system was also finished early, so we were able to move the schedule forward significantly.
Huh? I did hear Yang, Essie, and Mr. Giscard were at the base, but I hadn't realized they were so involved in the project. Though my department wasn't involved in the plan, I'm happy to hear that we've been able to live up to your expectations. By the way, there's something I've been wondering ever since I saw the stream of the second launch. I'm guessing you're planning to use an assault frame in place of that blocky dummy unit, right? But there's no way they weigh the same, so how the hell's that gonna work? Seems like your foolproof plan has a massive hole in it. Tactless Aaron strikes again. Seriously? You take as blunt as a hammer to a whole new level.
Don't worry, no offense taken. And as for the mech, we don't intend to use the land-based Zycrease model for this project. What we will be using, however, you'll have to wait until the day of the launch to see.
In other words, you and your trench monkeys have a new toy in the works. Huh, if that's true. I'm guessing you're already in the middle of testing it, aren't you? No doubt you want to make sure it can handle any situation thrown its way in the vacuum of space. Bet the final field test is being handled on top secret, like, huh? Ah, I see. Then that means...
I understand your curiosity given what you experienced at Marduk headquarters, but I'll have to leave the rest to your imagination. Although I will say this, your name did come up as a viable test candidate.
Wait, what? You mean Van's able to fly around in that giant robot?
Yes, that's right. It's simple enough that even I could pilot one, so I imagine it would be child's play for one of Marduk's testers. If you'd like, I could have Kincaid talk with the General about making you a pilot. Perhaps we could put out one of your 4 SPGs and categorize it as unofficial outsourcing.
If this is some kind of joke, I ain't laughing. Dad, please, you really shouldn't tease about that sort of thing.
What? Just because I'm the president of a nation doesn't mean I can't kid around? That said, I still meant every word.
Which one is it then? Are you joking or not? This freaking guy. Oh dear, Van's completely at his mercy. Like I said earlier, he sure knows how to command a room. Huh. A challenge untrodden by mankind. It'd be dishonest to say I wasn't looking forward to this. You seem to be going to great pains to ensure there will be no interference from terrorists and criminal organizations.
Great pains would be an understatement, believe me. Part of the reason I made that pact with the Society in the first place was to reduce the amount of external threats we might face.
Ah.
Oh, and by the way, I would thank you to remember our agreement to not overstep your bounds.
Well, our little pact was just about over anyway, which means things will start to heat up soon.
It seems your reputation precedes you, Mr. President. You're everything the man that Mr. Rocksmith claims you to be. I'd hear many a thing about you before you entered the political arena, but I'm delighted to make your acquaintance at last.
No, the pleasure is all mine, Mr. Zeman. You've done much for not only Calvert, but the entire continent as well. I'd be all too happy to have a little tete-a-tete with you in the near future. We should arrange an outing together with Mr. Rocksmith.
That would be very welcome. Perhaps you ought to invite Lieutenant General Cassius Bright to this too.
Oh, now that's a thought. He and I go back well over a decade.
Well, so much for us worming our way back into the conversation. Sorry, I was really hoping that would be a chance for all of us to distress. If it's any consolation, I myself am finding this to be a rather fascinating experience. Shortly thereafter, a number of calls from the presidential office came in, and Graham Hart and his security team had to put an end to their short break.
You have my apologies for cutting our little chat short. In the meantime, please, make yourselves at home. We don't keep confidential documents here, so you're welcome to look around all you like.
How magnanimous of you, Mr. Prez. Still, this really is a nice place you've got here. I hear you even did the renovations on it yourself.
That I did. I performed them shortly after I got married. We bought the house through a certain connection I had at the time. If I recall correctly, I believe it was built around 70 years ago now.
Oh wow, I certainly wouldn't have guessed that. I bet this place would make for a great filming location.
Well then, Agnes, I'll leave the rest to you. Now, I know you only just finished your finals, but try not to overexert yourself. You won't be able to help your group if you burn yourself out.
Come on, Dad, I know. And I expect you to lead by example on that front. Oh, and, I want you to know I'll be rooting for you. With your project and everything, I mean.
Of course. Thank you, Agnes.
Okay then, I'll get started on lunch. Please give me a little bit to get it ready. Like my dad said, you're free to look around the house as much as you'd like. Really? You mean it? Yay, let's go! First stop, Agnes's room. Oh, on second thought, she'd probably be uncomfortable with me going into her bedroom. Do you want to see it too, Katre? I really don't mind showing you if you do. As I mentioned earlier, I'd be more than happy to assist in preparing everyone's lunches. While you do that, I'm just gonna hang out here. Whoa, they left the dog behind? Oh, I'm sure security will be back later to take him to the official residence. Okay then. Don't have a ton of time on our hands, but we can take a quick look around. Still can't believe this place is 70 years old. I know my history. That date the house back to the time of the Third Republic. Really makes you wonder who built it back then. And so, essentially, we can just explore the Gramhart residence. I don't think there's... Oh, there are scenes. I didn't know there would be. Maybe we won't get to new stuff this episode. Days gone by. Now this is a good one. Affirmative. Its metric and tonal patterns evoke feelings of comfort. Come on, guys. You can't just go putting records on in other people's houses. Says you. The president gave us the okay to make ourselves at home, so I'm taking him up on that. His ear is real refined, though. This library's got everything from classics to chansons. There even happens to be a decent collection of Grammy's albums. Chansonaire extraordinaire. Dominique Lanster, huh? Go figure. Whoa, Amber Turtle. He has a favorite jazz number 2? Well, this is awkward. Between this and saunas, we've got more than a few hobbies in common. Didn't he invite you to a private session at the end of our big case last spring? In his book, you're probably the bad apple seducing his precious daughter astray. Don't even start. How many times do I gotta spell out that I'm the one getting barged in on here? Now playing next song, Autumn Knows. I know it's nothing new by now, but feel really is something else. 1000%. And they've got good taste on top of that. So while we run to the next place, I do want to quickly mention something about the President Gramhart, as we see it as Agnes's father. But, as we saw, he is the one leading the space program. And if there are nefarious means to the space program, then that means likely something's going on with President Gramhart. We know he had previously made a deal with Ouroboros not to step into the country until this year. But yeah, it's very interesting. I think it would be... I don't want to think Gramhart's a bad guy because he's clearly not working for Ouroboros. But also, it's tough not to assume that considering everything going on. But then that would make Agnes's father a bad guy. And I think that would be the first case where a father of a main character is like, well, we have had one more, but they weren't like a huge bad guy. He would essentially be like the main antagonist, so I'm not too sure. These ingredients show suffice for the menu in mind. I must say, though, the pantry is punctiously stocked, despite the both of you being absent. Oh, well, it all ends up being things with a long shelf life anyway. I come back 2 or 3 times a month to clean, cook, and treat the security personnel to a meal. Occasionally I'll make some extra to leave behind, which my father does seem to eat when he returns. Really now. I knew he had a soft spot for his little girl, no matter how much he tries to act otherwise. That's a little debatable. He definitely has a particular fondness for my sandwiches and stews, though. I think it's fair to say I've succeeded in recreating the way my mother's tasted. Miss Claudel. Well, going by the ones you'd sometimes make at the office, I can't say for a fact that they're... I can say for a fact that they're both delicious. They say a kitchen reflects the family who lives there. This one feels tidy, yet lived in at the same time. Says a lot about the woman your mom was. Indeed, even the sink and kitchen utensils appear to be meticulously maintained. Well, it's been 5 years since she passed, but those parts of her might have rubbed off on me. I just try to do things the way I remember she did, though it wasn't without plenty of setbacks in the beginning. I even forced my father to eat the stews I burnt. Hey, any dad worth his salt would be more than happy to gulp it down. Yes, without a doubt. It was likely the same for myself. Well, at any rate, Van, this'll take us a little bit longer. My success rate with these dishes is guaranteed, so just sit tight and they'll be out in a jiffy. Given that this is likely a larger party than Miss Claudel is accustomed to serving, I shall handle the ingredient and spice measurements. Sounds good. My mouth's watering already. We'll go ahead and head outside. Talk to Aaron. Oh, no, this is Burgard. I think Aaron's also out here, though. I think I saw him through the window. Real sight to see, huh? They say Agnes's mom used to take care of it. Miss Sophie Grahamhart. Otherwise known as the granddaughter of the famed Professor Epstein. This garden looks to have been carefully tended to, but I warrant it was another person altogether who first put it together. The arrangement of the flower beds, the selection of herbs, they bring to mind the traditional designs of the Middle Ages. Someone I was once indebted to had much the same predilections. Oh yeah? Was once. Must be a reason it's a past tense. Grahamhart said this place was built around 70 years back. That's smack dab in the middle of the Third Republic. And the Lever district was one of the residential areas they set up at the time. Meaning the original occupant was an individual of great significance, more likely than not. That the house's construction is more modest and luxurious speaks to their upright character. There's a story, I imagine, as to how Mr. Grahamhart came to assume ownership of it. Yeah, no way there wouldn't be. Am I just imagining things, or does this feel nostalgic somehow? This ain't the first time it's happened either. Interesting. The problem is we don't really know anybody from the Third Era of the Republic, or the Third Republic, rather. We've only seen, like, one person, and I think they were important in the last game, but they're long dead. Oh yeah? You want to go, huh? How about some of this, then? Let's see you survive my scritchy-scratchy technique. Man, I've picked up the signs, but you sure are one hell of a dog person, huh? More or less. Same went for my mom, but we had to give up on getting one with how small the room we rented was. So to make up for it, we tore our way through the first ward of the 7th on a pup-patting spree, 7 days a week. Talk about overkill. It's a miracle you didn't rub 'em bald. Hey, wait your turn, pet napper. This guy's, what, 7 years old? Just because you're both middle-aged doesn't give you the right. I'm still in my 20s, damn it. Alphonse here sure is friendly with people, though. Only natural with Agnes, but he seems pretty attached to the president, too. Do you have a scene for me? I guess this is, it's not Theo, I can't remember, this is Zeros. Oh, you can just treat him like any old dog. Fun fact, the sunbathing's actually their means of converting solar energy into power. Is that right? Pardon my rudeness, I should have known better than after Mr. Kincaid's briefing. Zeros, was it? A pleasure to formally meet. The President and his aide have already notified me about you all. I'll be bringing Alphonse back to the official residence in due time. Until then, you and the young miss are welcome to enjoy your stay. Sure, keep up the good work. Go ahead and head inside, and now on the second floor, we'll be able to wrap things up. So this is Agnes's room, huh? Isn't it nice in here? So warm, so calming. Plus it gives off this breath of fluffy, flowery air that has Agnes written all over it. I think I get what you mean. You can definitely tell that she spent a lot of time in here. Just what's got you all wrapped up? Poring over an old girl's private books? Wait, I'm 16 now. That makes Agnes and me the same age. Fair point, but in 3 days she'll be back to being older. Oh, he's got you there. That is crazy to think this game, the Daybreak series, has only been over the course of a year. True enough, I know it's something to celebrate, but getting left behind again isn't the greatest feeling. At any rate, whatever apprehension I had flew right away the second I laid eyes on these. They're Professor Claude Epstein's diaries. That's so. Agnes always kept the final volume on her, so these must be the rest. You can really tell her great-grandfather was a great-grand scholar, too. He'd certainly need to have been able to create the octogenesis. Right? There's records here of how they were utilized in experimental observations for the invention of orbments. There's a lot to be learned from these writings, and what's more, they also describe his values as a scientist and technician. Each and every word holds a wealth of meaning. I can see how Agnes got so engrossed. You don't say. I'd only ever leaf through the last of the bunch, so... Let's see, stuff about his research, stuff about his family and assistants. Oh hey, this bit touches on the geopolitics of the time, even has his personal analysis of Calvard. Communication lines barely existed back then, so how do you manage to put this many pieces together all the way in Lemon? Incredible, isn't it? He talks quite a lot about Gran and them, too. Publishing even a portion of these would make for an instant bestseller, don't you think? Wait, isn't this... What's up? Did you find an interesting entry? It's more that this name feels like one I've heard somewhere before. Does Herschel ring a bell? Herschel, that's... May we have a look? Afterward, the group shared a handful of findings and surprises held in Epstein's diaries. Quatre then returned straight back to reading them, whereas Fairy found herself drawn to Agnes's picture book collection, Eyes a Twinkle. I have no idea why he would have mentioned Herschel, because that's Toa. Interesting. Looks like the Press's private study. He did basically tell us what's his is ours, but this might be pushing it. Are those... I'll just take a little self-guided tour for future ref. Let me investigate. I'll just come to this side of the desk. Could almost call this a trail of memories between the Gramharts and Claudels. Ain't as much of a family man as Victor, but a part of me does long for one myself. This must be the Prez in his school days. Guy was handsome even back then. The woman on the left is probably Lilia Claudel, Professor Epstein's adopted daughter. Which makes the girl in the middle, Sophie Claudel. They say he was in the military before getting into politics. Seems he and the Claudels were basically family. Lilia had already passed by the time Agnes was born, though, I think. Agnes is around 12 here, maybe, and the president looks no different than he does now. Just look at those three smiling faces. Can't have been too long after that her mom... Oh, Van, so this is where you went. Yeah, sorry for treading off the beaten path. Not at all, take your time. If any books catch your interests, feel free to borrow them. There should be plenty geared toward car enthusiasts, sauna buffs, and other hobbyists. Nah, I'm imposing enough already. A lineup like this could really hook a guy in, though. I'd imagine so. The way my father used to hole himself up in here and read the days away. I Everything's just been gathering dust the past few years now that he's always out. It's honestly kind of a shame. Haha, he's still so young there, isn't he? Yeah, kind of ticks me off that he's been such a looker from then all the way till now. Still, I appreciated the chance to actually see your mom and grandma's faces. I suppose I'd only ever really mentioned their names up till now, thinking back. Pictures are all I know of my grandmother. Still, everybody looks so happy in both of these. Hey, same could be said for the one you're in. I have to admit though, Claudel jeans are a scary thing. I mean, sure, your hairstyles and overall vibe's different. But going by facial features alone, you three ladies are practically carbon copies. You think so? I'd say we couldn't be further apart personality-wise, but... Oh, right. We're still in the middle of making lunch. I just came to ask if you'd mind us adding Diablo sauce to the sandwiches. Holy... After receiving Van's response that he was all for the Diablo sauce, Agnes Bisley vacated the study. Okay, I think that's enough exploring for now. Lunch will be ready soon, I bet. Might as well offer to help make some coffee. Help with lunch has been added to the travel menu. Choosing this will cause the main story to advance. By this point, there's nothing else you can do anyways, so we'll go ahead and just help with lunch. Choosing help with lunch will cause the main story to advance. Let's do it. Alright then. Guess I'll go see if I can help out with the coffee or something. Actually, that reminds me. The date she put on her resume was July 12th, 1192. That's 3 days from now. I've treated the others on their birthdays, so I ought to do the same for her. Ben then went to the kitchen to help make coffee, and was subsequently asked for his opinion on matters such as the dessert offerings. After a short while, lunch was finally ready, and everyone sat down to enjoy the sandwiches Agnes and Rosette made. Nice little ending to the first part of the day. Unfortunately, the act is essentially split into 3 parts, and while I don't think the other 2 parts are going to be any longer, because they're all essentially morning, afternoon, then nighttime, I do think this one was probably the longest. We're still not done with the day yet. By the way, Agnes, I took a look at your great-grandfather's diaries. I only skimmed through them, and he didn't write too much about his research, but I was still thoroughly impressed by what I saw. He sounded like an insightful person. It's amazing to think that Professor Hamilton, was his mentee. Hearing you say all that makes me really happy. I'd heard before that he cared a lot for his family, and reading this makes that clear as day. You can tell just how much he loved your grandmother Lilia. And the messages he left for the generations after hers to you and Sophie are really profound. He also had a great affinity for his 3 disciples. Naturally, he cared deeply for Professor Hamilton, but I can feel a sense of compassion and trust for the other 2 as well, despite their idiosyncrasies. Oh yeah, Professor Russell from Liberal is one of those 3 disciples, right? The fact that old Epstein predicted he'd go on to invent the airship is pretty damn wild. Not only that, but he also wrote about the possibility of Professor Schmidt coming up with the railway system. It's almost like he could see the future or something. There's little way of knowing one way or another if he could. One thing's for certain, however, he was an incredibly perceptive man. He predicted the emergence of an artificial intelligence and technological singularity, even which has become quite the hot-button issue. That's very true. I can definitely understand why my mother and grandmother chose to hide his diaries. In a way, he was too far ahead of his time. So much so that he may have impeded the potential of those who come after him. Yeah, might be part of why he never shared them with anyone, including the Epstein Foundation. But I'm sure the main reason ties back to his last words about gathering the Geneses. Recover the Geneses before the year 1200X, else all that we know will come to an end. Hold up. So your great-grandpa used these things, these observational devices, back when he established Orbital Tech? Which means he had them at the time, but then at some point, they were lost or stolen? I didn't get a chance to pore over every detail in the diaries, but I didn't see anything written about that. As crazy as this sounds, it is possible he knew that they'd go missing after his death. Yes, I'd say so. In fact, that's a definite possibility, especially when you consider what Dingo said to us back in April.
That weakness is humanity's original sin, one that the 8th Genesis was built to observe with vigilance. Its ceaseless observation persists. It has yet to truly be brought to an end. The forced reset is a byproduct of the octogenesis. It is a retry method that can only be performed so many times. Its purpose is to achieve the desired observational outcome. Very soon, the other possibilities that were archived from past resets will be designated as the final observational outcome.
Oh yeah, that's what he said, sure enough. Though I didn't hear those words directly from the horse's mouth, they sound no less disconcerting even now. I can only surmise that these devices, including this 8th Genesis which observes humanity's sin, are designed to carry out some function once all 8 are brought together. Yes, I've come much to the same conclusion. However, I cannot help but wonder if there was some reason they were spread all over Calvard prior to our having gathered them. Considering his use of the word observation, perhaps some sort of process was being carried out by necessity. This whole thing is all kinds of confusing. Would that mean that there was an observational reason behind Almada stealing and using them too? What? No, that's impossible. Much as it pisses me off to say, it isn't. Could be that them turning me into the tyrant of 40 years ago was also they could observe the dark side of humanity. Yeah, same could be said of Pandemonium, which is brought about by the 7th. Might have even been trying to observe the diabolic core I had inside of me. I think it's safe to say my great-grandfather must have had some purpose for all of this. Maybe he made the Genesis to bring out the ugly side of humanity and observe it. Could be there was some outcome he hoped to achieve. If that's true, then regardless of his reasons, it's possible he wasn't the good upstanding man I thought him to be. And yes. Honestly, he sounds more like engineers and academics, I know. We're all driven to test our hypotheses. That's right. Regardless of what kind of man your great-grandfather was, it was his diaries that got you to this point. Are you prepared to see this thing through, accepting the good, the bad, and whatever else he was expecting to find out? Because if you are, then no. We will be right there by your side until you get there. Ban. That's right. We'll be with you to the end, ride or die. Indeed, that goes without saying. Don't stress. We'll always be your corner, no matter what kind of person your great-grandpa was. Can't be much worse than our resident sugar junkie who gets his kicks from eating sweets in a sauna. Hey, I've never done that in my life. Sweets are sweets and saunas are saunas, and never the twain shall meet. Wait, don't they cook sausages and roast marshmallows at the saunas in Remiferia? Plus, there's such a thing as stone cookware, you know? Whoa, pump the brakes. I don't want to know this. It's hard enough to fight off these urges. Spoken like a true sugar junkie. Well, at least his addiction isn't so far gone as to be detrimental to his health. Yet. We should devise a plan to rehabilitate him before it grows out of control. Oh yeah, there's something else I noticed about the diaries. When I was flipping through them a minute ago, I saw the name Herschel. Ah, so you noticed that too, huh? Isn't that the name of your teacher? Yes, that's right. That's Miss Toa's last name. There was a famous astronomer from the Empire named Alfred Herschel. I've read several of his works. There's a good chance he's the person Professor Epstein was referring to. Of that, I have no doubt. Mr. Herschel was the Dean of the Imperial Academy, the foremost academic institution of the Erebonian Empire. He passed 10 years ago, but I heard that from an early age he traveled the world to help expand its base of knowledge. We only crossed paths a few times, but I'm certain that he was Miss Herschel's grandfather. Fascinating. Didn't realize he was an acquaintance of yours, Master. Next time we bump into Miss Herschel, you should ask about him. Never know what kind of stories he might have passed on, even if they're not about the Genesis. Might be worth doing a little prodding. I hear she only came here because of her NGO work. Has she gone on back to Erebonia yet? No, she's still here. She's supposed to go back at the end of the last term like Ren and Julian. If you'd like, I can call her and...
Pardon me, young miss, but 2 of your friends from school are here to see you.
Hey, Agnes! Oh, you really are home after all.
We saw that black robot dog out in the yard, but we didn't know for sure if you were here or not.
Odette? Albert?
Sorry for dropping in out of the blue. We just wanted to come say hi, but we didn't know you had so much company. Blame Albert. He just wouldn't stop moaning and groaning. Ooh, I can't see Agnes at school for a few days. My life is over.
I never said that. But I won't deny I've missed you some since exams ended. Both you and Roy, the president, seemed pretty busy as of late.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to worry you both.
Wait, why are you 2 wearing your school uniforms? We have a little council-related trouble to take care of. What kind of trouble? Do you need help? Oh, we should be okay. It's just a handover meeting with a new school vendor, that's all. Ren will be helping us out with it too, so I think we can manage just fine. We can't keep depending on her for everything, you know. Otherwise, we'll never be able to grow out of her shadow. Why not go check it out? Between this morning's 4 SPGs and making us all lunch, I'd say you've more than done your part for today. But... no buts. Work's important and all, but a healthy work-life balance is even more so. You ought to go help your friends. Show Super Schoolgirl that you don't need no babysitter. I need to make up for lost working time from this morning, so I'll carry the load for both of us. It'll be less fun with you gone, but we'll soldier on. Let's wage this war on 2 fronts. Van, you guys. Hey, you don't have to go if you don't want to. Not that you wouldn't be a huge help, of course, but point being, no pressure. Sorry, we weren't trying to pull you away from your work. Please, don't worry about it. You didn't appoint me as your treasurer to slack off when I'm needed. Good luck with the rest of your workday, everyone. I should be able to meet back up with you all later this evening. Good deal. See you later. Very well. Shall we depart for the Chardon District, everyone? I will make a note to contact you once we reach a stopping point this afternoon.
The train will be departing soon.
I'm wondering if this game's a time loop. I'm wondering if this this rocket that's being sent into space is going to send somebody back in time, and that person is going to become Epstein, who ended up having all these predictions as a warning in order to prevent something from happening. And so I wonder if we are caught in a time loop, which is such like, that is such a 2020 game like thing to do, because they do that in like every single game nowadays, but I'm just interested.
I'll update
And so if you've done everything and got all your bonus SP, your rank will raise to E+, and your total SP will be 30.
Confirm and receipt.
We'll get the fortune, the fortune, it's not Sepith? Oh my gosh, how did I forget this? It's fortune. You get item drop rate plus 30% upon defeating enemy in a command battle. And you get an S rank in your act, so you get an achievement whenever you get your first S rank. On top of that, we should get an Employee of the Month as well. It's Burgard. I try to get Employee of the Month on different characters every time, but I don't think it always ends up working out that way. We'll go ahead and save as a just in case, And then we'll go ahead and at least start the next little section here. After parting ways with Agnes, Van's group headed back to Old Town shortly after noon. Zin and Elaine arrived at Van's office a little before 1 p.m. to swap information, as they had agreed upon earlier.
I see. So you went off your beaten track and did your rounds in the Leva district.
Elaine Auclair, Beauty's Blade.
Yep, not one of my usual haunts. Can't say I found much of anything, but there were a couple things that piqued my curiosity. I hear you've been busting your tail on a different case. You find anything interesting?
Yes, I did. Would you mind if I let him in on this, Jin?
I don't see any problem with that, given that it's related to something we tackled together back in March.
March? You don't mean that case, do you?
The one pertaining to that anti-immigration terrorist group?
The very same, where we went up against the True Grievance Brigade. It was the largest anti-immigration faction before the Guild, your team, and the CID arrested the group's every last member. Since then, we've caught signs of entirely new anti-immigration factions beginning to emerge.
Seriously?
More terrorist organizations?
Afraid so, though we haven't been able to verify if they're genuinely anti-immigration just yet. What we have confirmed is that the groups have been recruiting members who are known sympathizers of the True Grievance Brigade. It's even possible that other anti-immigration groups, both large and small, are banding together to form one massive flock.
Holy shit. Are you for real?
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
That's hardly surprising. Due to their small numbers, not even the police are aware that they exist. What confuses me more is that these groups seem to be active outside of the Republic as well.
Wait a minute.
That sounds rather similar to a case we worked on before, doesn't it?
The one where Toa helped search for missing migrants from the north, yes? As I recall, the True Grievance Brigade was allegedly looking to scout people of white descent to bolster their rank and file. Then subsequent investigations by authorities revealed there was a different broker working with them behind the scenes.
Over the past 3 months, there have been a handful of disappearances that were apparently caused by that same broker. They hit Remiferia, Northumbria, the Free Cities, and Jirai. We've also heard that impoverished citizens in these regions have been making their way to Calvert. Guild HQ has been watching the situation like a hawk and is urging branches in every country to be on the alert.
I had no idea all this was happening.
Well, this case may appear rudimentary at a glance. It's clear there's more to it than meets the eye. You mentioned this has been going on for 3 months. That would mean it started around the time the space program was unveiled, yes?
That's right. It could just be a coincidence, but HQ is concerned about that point too. And while I'm sure they've got their reasons, I'm surprised the CID has been sitting back twiddling their thumbs.
Really makes you wonder.
I've heard you haven't been able to get in touch with Renee lately. I'm in much the same boat. We've approached the CID and requested investigative assistance numerous times, but they keep turning us down. Perhaps they simply are otherwise fully engaged with the space program right now. That just seems weird to me. I mean, they're the CID. They have the manpower to keep tabs on all the Jaeger group's activities, including the Warriors of Kruga. I also hear they love hovering over Hioe, despite the mutual agreement they've got with them. If you ask me, there's no way in hell they'd look the other way when there's a new anti-immigration group on the rise. Is there any chance they asked Marduk to act on this on their behalf? You know, because maybe they're too tied up right now. No, I'm not aware of any such request. Even with the recent launch, I was at least given notice moments before. It seems to me they've drawn a line in the sand, so since the CID is being about as helpful as a car without wheels, I'm guessing you're here to ask if we can work together, like we did back in March. Oh? You guessed right. Now, we're kinda stretched thin at the moment, but we can at least spare Elaine. She just loves working with you. Zin, please be quiet. What he means is that this is the most efficient option, seeing as we've worked together in the past. Had Fee not been off on another assignment, I might have put her forward for this instead. I wish you would have, Elaine. Everyone likes Elaine. I just like Fee. You say that, but as I remember it, you volunteered within almost a second of the topic coming up. Silence. Ah, you like us. How sweet. Yay, we get Elaine on our team. That's the best help we could have asked for. I'll feel much more at ease the next time we encounter those unusual monsters. Not to mention we'll have a broader perspective with the Guild's intelligence network at our beck and call. So we'll have to get the go-ahead from the boss, of course. Ball's in your court, Van. Yeah, whatever.
Might not be a permanent thing, but all the same, it's good to have you on the team again, Elaine.
Yes, I'm happy to be back, Van. It's been a while since I last fought alongside you all.
I wish the silence was voiced. That would have been so funny.
And that's especially true for you, Bearguard. I'm sure I will learn much while working with you.
As I with you. I look forward to seeing the famous Beauty's Blade in action once again.
Oh yeah, this is the first time they're both on your team. Well, Elaine could have been a temporary party member back in Daybreak 1 when you had Bearguard. I didn't go that route, but she could have been. You're more than welcome to make use of my room should you so wish. Mine's free too. Want to try out some makeup together? Thank you for the offer, but I'm worried it would only wear off after working up a sweat. Oh, since you're here, can I show you my room? Please? Well, if they're not going to let me catch a peek, I'll just catch 40 winks instead. You're becoming more of a slob by the minute. I'm surprised you haven't gained any weight, given that you drink every single day. I've got my late night workouts to thank for that. There's no better exercise than going to... I can't say that on YouTube. TMI, Aaron. Fascinating. You have an abundance of spirit, technique, and physical strength, yet your dedication and discipline are sorely lacking. I think I shall impart the Kunlun method for controlling one's breathing upon you, like I did Van. Wait, what? No, I already learned breathing techniques from the Gekka school, so I'm good. Nonsense. There's great value to be had in studying the techniques of other schools. Now stand. Gotta say, I'm mighty jealous of you. You've got a wellspring of wisdom and knowledge walking among you. Elaine will have a chance to tap into it, but not me. Oh, maybe I'll pick up a part-time job here too. Not happening. Don't say heart attack-inducing shit like that, man. Oh, by the way, I ran into the CID division chief earlier, but I haven't been hide or hair of the direwolf lately. Guessing you haven't either? That's right. There's no sign the society is involved with these terrorists either. I think Ren was right on the mirror earlier, that they're finally about ready to make their move. Before I go, I wanted to mention you might be contacted by someone else about a separate issue. Okay. Mind giving me some context? Long story short, Guild HQ and Lemon reached out with a few questions about you. Of course, I didn't tell them any of the nitty-gritty bits like on Yes's true identity and heritage, as well as your, condition. But apparently they're real curious about that whole Marhian Garten hacking incident, and you're a person of interest. Okay, hold the phone. If they have questions about the garden, can't you answer them? You and Fee helped out with that case too, in case you forgot. True, but we only swooped in right at the end. You and your crew were the ones who did most of the work. And because of that, a rep from a guild affiliate group will probably reach out to you about it. You want to go about dealing with this is up to you and Elaine. Anywho, I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey, wait! A guild affiliate group, huh? There's only one organization I can think of that fit the bill. Ugh, damn that muscle-bound bastard. Do he and Elaine get their...
I heard that.
That just went straight into that's so funny. And she swapped into her casual outfit. Is this different than the second game? I kind of like this outfit. It might be the same, but it's definitely different than her bracer outfit.
But I'm sure you'd only say, it's pretty all right, or Looks easy to move around in.
Hell no. This looks great on you. I mean, wow, those colors just scream you. And those reinforced white heels are not only practical, but also really damn stylish.
Huh? You really think so?
She looks super pretty, doesn't she?
Wow, another genuine compliment from Van. He's been on a roll lately.
If you ask me, this feels like a bid to calm the waters after shoving his foot down his throat.
Yeah, he does do that. One minute he'll act all nice and polite with Nina, and he'll blindside me with some rude comment the next.
Lest we forget, Mr. Arkwright is still quite young. He may yet have room to develop a sense of tact.
In comparison to his work in martial arts prowess, he has much to grow in that regard. Delicacy is hardly Van's strong suit.
I believe I am now Van's age.
Quiet from the peanut gallery. And way to join in on the dog pile, Master.
Moving on. I'll remove my bracer emblem and accompany you for the rest of the afternoon. I'm ready to begin our 4SPG work anytime.
Good deal. Then let's pick a crew and go solve some problems.
All right, let's get our team going here. Yes cannot be brought out. She is stuck in reserve. However, we can swap all these guys around. Let's go ahead and bring Elaine out front. I will just, honestly, it's like, there's no benefit benching Fairy versus Quatre. I actually really like this squad of 4 here. Elaine is a monster. Elaine is truly, you can see, now she has some slots, some accessories equipped, but her attack is 218 and her arts is 182. She's an absolute beast in these games. She can do pretty much everything, which is why usually she's restricted to only certain moments. There's Judith's disguise.
Oh,
in case you're curious about Judith's disguise,
nice to work together.
all it is if we go to equipment and we go to Judith and we put on her, we put on the costume, her disguise. It is just, I think she changes her hair a little bit. Because Judith's disguise is what she typically wears in the other 2 games, I will keep it off. Just because I do like this one a little bit more. I think Elaine might also come with... No, she doesn't come with her bracer outfit.
I couldn't see her much this morning.
We'll go around and run around as Elaine. Now we have 2 things I want to get before we progress here. You'll notice that right here we have a red shop, which is meaning we have a new item, the Peach Tart Tatin. And finally, if we head over here...
Why are you singling me out? I'm always
we can go ahead and talk to, I think, Rebecca. Oh, is this back to, since they're both here, does that mean they both sell different things? Yes, they do. You can modify ornament, and they actually sell new items. So you can get Rot, Earthen Verse, and Topaz Ring. Again, I won't be picking any of this up yet. I think it's better just to hold off and get what you can through other means first. On top of that, if you want to, you can now customize Elaine's slots as well and open them up more for her. And finally... If we go to buy items, we can get the vintage ring, which is something we need for a trade item later. So we will, of course, go ahead and pick this one up. That gives us a little bit more arts evasion and ATS. So we'll just give it to you for now. And I think that that's everything that we can do. Let me just double check. That means he's got more in the bargain bin. We buy a power droplet.
Hope to see you again.
And then if we talk to you, Rebecca also, I think, has new things, but I think she just sells the exact same thing that her brother does, right?
I can handle maintenance. Come again.
Yeah, well, it still says they have something new. Where is it? It's always, when this happens, I always get soaked. It's trade, isn't it? Yep. You can just trade for all the new Sepith there.
Thanks.
And there we go. That is every optional thing we can do as of right now, and I think we're going to go ahead and wind things down here. I wanted to show this off, what's up here, this episode, but I didn't realize how much dialogue we have. And when we get to that, we are going to have essentially an entire episode just dedicated to what happens when we examine that board. It is technically, I think, optional, but we will not be playing it like it's optional content. We'll be playing it like it's real content, but there will be a lot to go over, and I want to save all of that for its own episode. So, I will see you guys then.